According to UNICEF, by 2050, it is projected that 1 out of every 3 children born in the world will be in Africa, and the world's population is projected to increase from 7 billion in 2011 to 9.6 billion. The growing population is influencing demand for critical natural resources and services alongside the considerable environmental pressures resulting from unsustainable consumption patterns. It therefore emerged that population, health, and environment (PHE) approach can offer an opportunity for sustainable development. PHE can positively influence population growth, health, and environmental conservation patterns by enhancing resilience of communities, helping balance environmental protection, natural resource use, and human well-being. It is against this backdrop that Lake Victoria Basin Commission, LVBC, in collaboration with the East African Community EAC Secretariat, EAC partner states, national PHE networks, PHE Ethiopia Consortium, and PHE Madagascar Network, through the sponsorship of USAID and other stakeholders, hosted the Integrated Population, Health and Environment PHE Conference in the lakeside city of Kisumu at the Tom Mboya Labour College on the 9th and 10th September 2015. Prior to the conference, there were several build-up publicity activities, including press conferences, newspaper supplements, radio and television talk shows, and a documentary. These activities not only enhanced awareness about the conference, but also provided an opportunity for sharing knowledge on the PHE approach and its comparative advantage. Following the 2013 International Population, Health and Environment Conference that was held in November 11th to 12th, 2013 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, this regional conference brought together PHE implementers, advocates, researchers, and policymakers in Eastern and Southern Africa to review progress in PHE programming in the region and map strategies for policy review in line with global sustainable development goals. Meanwhile, the LVBC Deputy Executive Secretary in charge of Finance and Administration, Mr. Patrice Niongabo, while briefing the media, commended the EAC partner states and other development partners for the commendable efforts they make in supporting LVBC to implement PHE program.
I sincerely thank our government, the EAC partner states, as well as our development partners for the commendable efforts made in supporting LVBC to implement PHE program and other projects and programs.
As was expected, participants arrived in their numbers and were warmly ushered to the registration desk to receive their tags and confirm their respective roles in the conference, after which they were directed to the main conference hall for the official opening ceremony. With the EAC anthem having been sung, the regional program coordinator for PHE, Dr. Doreen Otero, flamboyantly introduced and welcomed the delegates.
I know that we have the 5 East African Community Partner States represented. Republic of Burundi. Thank you. Kenya. Republic of Rwanda. United Republic of Tanzania. Last but not least, Republic of Uganda. large number. United States of America, just by a show, you can see there are very many. Feel very welcome. We have delegates from Ethiopia. Welcome. Delegates from Madagascar. Welcome. We have academic institutions represented here. I can see Maseno University, University of Nairobi, Moi University, and many others.
With the introduction and welcoming note having been delivered, the eloquent speakers consisting of dignitaries from the EAC partner states and from other parts of the world systematically took to the podium to articulate their speeches. Confirming LVBC commitment to making PHE realistic, LVBC Deputy Executive Secretary, Finance and Administration, Mr. Patrice Niongabo, said,
LVBC reaffirms its commitment to ensure that PHE policy and programming are taken to the greater heights. However, this will definitely require concerted efforts of actors at different levels.
The Director of Projects and Programs in the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources, Kenya, Ms. Agnes Yobterik, encouraged member states to adopt PHE program.
Population health and environment indeed can be an integral part of the implementation process of the post-2015 Sustainable Development Goals. We will require them to scale up the adoption of this concept through policy change.
Honorable Jessica Erio, the Deputy Secretary General, Productives and Social Sectors, EAC Secretariat, also confirmed the EAC's commitment to PHE program.
Integrated development models with the potential of generating comprehensive and sustainable development outcomes, such as PHE, are indeed relevant for entities like the EAC, which are pursuing a comprehensive development agenda throughout the institutions and organs of the EAC and partner states.
Head of Mission USAID in EAC, Madam Barbara Hill, in her address reaffirmed USAID's commitment to PHE program in the region.
Since 2013, USAID has invested more than $2.6 million in population health and environment activities in the region. An integrated approach to environment and health policy interventions is necessary to ensure these linkages are addressed. By protecting and caring for families' health, we protect and care for the environment. And by protecting and caring for the environment, we protect and care for families.
With the opening speeches done, keynote speakers, Mr. Eugene Muramira, the LVBC Deputy Executive Secretary for Programs, and Dr. Jotham Musinguzi, the Regional Director, Partners in Population and Development, Africa Regional Office, respectively, addressed the delegates.
What are the challenges we faced as a Commission? One, mainstreaming PHE into existing vertical health and environmental conservation projects that are mainly donor supported and with specific goals is difficult and quite challenging. Current single sector policies and institutional frameworks, our traditional government operations of ministries and sectors that do not really observe and harness the interlinkages among different actors and players and also pressures is another very, very challenging area. What are the recommendations? This urgent need for adoption of the PHE approach by donors.
We are talking about this because we feel that in the field of population, health and environment, the concept of a demographic dividend and countries, all countries in Africa aspiring to attain this. You need to make sure that the population structure improves. You need a large working population and a small dependent population, as I have said. We need to invest in education. Education. But also not forgetting issues that we are here to integrate. The question of environment, the person making sure there is food and economies of our populations.
The 2015 PHE conference theme was Integrated Population, Health and Environment, PHE, Lessons for the Sustainable Development Agenda, with the following sub-themes: advocacy, communication, and institutionalization of PHE policy and programming.
It starts locally to go its way up, to achieve the national and global level, so that we can intend to contribute to the PHE advocacy strategy, to contribute to the global agenda.
PHE in national, regional and global strategies and frameworks. Integrating population and health into existing environment and natural resource management, PHE, climate change and resilience.
We found that PHE programs successfully adapt their environmental approaches to the very specific local context where they're operating. Many projects report that integrating community priorities such as health and livelihood activities with conservation can increase community support for interventions that might otherwise be less popular, such as reducing slash-and-burn agriculture.
So, we have to link PHE to what we do. Then we have also identified some demonstrations within the community. But if you want to learn about PHE, go to somebody's household. But we have done little to maintain the status of the PHE.
PHE integration, youth and gender.
We have seen on ground greater participation of women in natural resources management, and which we think is bringing a lot of relevance in gender equality. Then we see an increased ratio of female men in youth groups, farmer groups, the beach management units, and other community groups. At the same time, is experiencing positions of women as agents of change, which has drastically increased.
PHE and intersectoral coordination and partnerships.
Multi-sectoral programming actually works on the ground and is able to meet multiple sustainable development goals. And I think that should be the message. You implement one project and you can tick off 12 targets and over 100 indicators.
Monitoring, evaluating and scaling up PHE.
The key message from Dr. Joseph's presentation is the use of data and ICT to really drive the development agenda. So from this program, the MDG is trying to make sure that the Millennium Development Goals are realized and is focused on the rural communities.
During the conference, PHE strategic plan was also articulated.
The vision of this strategy is a healthy population. One of the approaches we are advocating under this is when we have major projects, even small projects, instead of saying Ministry of Health or Ministry of whatever to go and get money to do health intervention, we ask those who are designing those projects to focus on population, health and environment issues.
This will happen, I think, backed by some proposals from our national parliaments, because there have to be budget appropriations. We want dedicated budgets to PHE.
The PHE conference also provided networking opportunities to the participants through exhibitors are influential players in the Lake Victoria Basin and Eastern and Southern Africa area, having participated in the implementation of environment and health-related projects. They showcased some of the tangible results and impacts that can be realized using minimal resources. There were side meetings with beneficiaries and champions to better understand their needs and priorities. At the end of the conference, the following resolutions were reached.
As articulated by Executive Secretary LVBC, Dr. Canisius Kadagira.
The first one is
essentially to urge national government to mainstream PHE. The second is to urge development partners to continue supporting the implementation of this regional PHE strategic plan. The third one is to create awareness and build capacity of national government. The fourth is we develop and strengthen institutions and technical capacity to handle this. All others are like giving more details.
We have agreed that we will collaborate to ensure that the population health and environment aspects within this region are working together so that we'll be able to curb poverty among our people, and the livelihood of our people also will be improved.
The 2015 PHE conference targeted different stakeholders, including PHE implementers, advocacy groups, researchers, policy and decision makers, as well as development partners. The conference attracted participation from the following: EAC partner states, PHE implementing organizations, researchers and advocacy groups, development partners, UN organizations, the African Union, policy makers at the local, national and regional levels, East Africa Legislative Assembly, national parliaments and the relevant committees, committees of regional integration in the partner states, private sector and civil society organizations, research and higher learning institutions, community groups, PHE champions, EAC Secretariat and LVBC Secretariat.
Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Uzalendo pia mshikamano viwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu.